Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Mile High Huddle. I am your host, Kim Becker, and joining me, as always, is Chad Jensen. Now, Chad, the Denver Broncos are sending a full scouting contingency, including George Paton, to North Dakota State's Pro Day. Now, North Dakota State has a quarterback coming out of their season, Trey. So, do Broncos fans read into this, or what exactly do you think this means?
You know, it could always be a smokescreen. You never know. I mean, NFL GMs, I think a lot of fans like to think that they're operating on a 4D chess level at all times. Most of the time, though, when you see a team make a move like this where the GM travels to look at a prospect, it's because the GM likes the prospect, or at the very least, wants to check a box on his evaluation card. And we learned last week in his Thursday presser that George Paton values very much his eyeball witness type, be an in-person evaluation. It's one thing to sit and watch tape, and obviously you can learn a lot on a prospect watching tape. But for George Paton, he especially prioritizes the observations gleaned by being there in person. So whether or not Trey Lance is in the Broncos' plans, that's not something I think anyone can say for sure at this stage. I think the news of George Paton traveling along with his scouts to the North Dakota State Pro Day, if it means anything, it's that the Broncos are at least considering him at pick number 9 in the draft next month.
Just more quarterback talk. I feel like that's all we're talking about right now when it comes to the Denver Broncos, but I know it's the one answer that people really want.
Yeah, I mean, and until the Broncos solve it, the quarterback issue, because that was one of the problems with Drew Lock last year, is he showed some signs, some steps forward, some steps back, really steadied out down the stretch from week 11 on. But if your goal was, as Drew Lock, to go into last season and leave no doubt that you're the guy, you failed to do that. And so the Broncos no longer are going to give him the benefit of the doubt as the understood starting incumbent quarterback heading into any season. They got to hedge a little bit. Now, whether that ends up being a free agent or a first-round quarterback, we'll see. I doubt it's a first-rounder, because rarely do NFL teams who are forced to play first-round quarterbacks, rarely do they win. And Vic Fangio, the head coach, he's in a hot seat, make-or-break year. He has to win.
I feel like it's a make-or-break year for a lot of people in the Denver Broncos organization, but Chad, as always, thanks so much for your insight. I'm sure we will keep talking about the quarterback situation with the Broncos coming up here in a few weeks. Thanks.
Thanks, Kim.